Hey everyone, welcome to Chef Courier launch. For the launch event, we are super excited about Chef Courier. It's finally here. We started this journey a while ago. I think we started speaking with you, with all of you last year in ChefConf, and a little while back with our customer advisory board. We have come a long way, and Chef Courier is generally available. We are super excited, not just about the effort that we have put in to bring this, but to look at the possibilities that it has for all of you, our long-term users, and also what new avenues it will open up for you all. So once again, welcome to this launch event to celebrate the launch of the product and also explore what opportunities you and your team have with Progress Chef Courier. So today, by the way, I'm Prashant Nanjundappa. I head product management for Chef product portfolio. Along with me, I have Steve. He works with me and he manages the product management team. And also I have George. He is the architect. Steve and George have been working together from beginning, from visioning and also architecting this role. So you will get to talk to them. You'll get to hear from them on what their journey was and why what are the possibilities you can experience with Chef Courier. So before getting into that, let's spend a few minutes looking back at the journey. And it all starts with why, right? When we talk to our customers, that is you all, and also look at analyst reports or even competitors and even mature organizations where DevOps practices are being set up for a long time, and it is mature and it is improving. There is a lot of stress, and this is because of a very focused set of reasons. One of them is scaling, right? As organizations are scaling infrastructure, they have hard time scaling their skill or employees who need to scale that infrastructure. And second, the cost of unplanned downtime has practically doubled. So while planned downtime was something that organizations were already putting a lot of effort on reducing, there is increased focus on looking at reducing the increased downtime, unplanned downtime. And also, it's not a news anymore that the amount of vulnerabilities, amount of exploits that are happening these days, and the advantage or the almost table stakes that organizations have in order to remediate or respond to those incidents in a timely manner. So these are some of the themes that we have been seeing, and we wanted to be part of, we wanted to help you in this journey where we can ease that and we can help you be better, be efficient, consolidate your tools, and also make your teams efficient. So with that, I'll request Stephen to share some insights on the journey.
Thank you, Prashant. So our journey with creating Chef Courier actually started with a much simpler exercise. We were simply trying to address some concerns and some needs from our customers as communicated to us by the field and by some surveys. But as we reached out directly to talk to customers on a one-on-one basis, we discovered there was a broad gap in the market. This wasn't just an area where a few key concerns could be applied to our products. We actually needed to come up with something new, something bigger, and something that broadly revolves around two themes of needs in the market that need to be addressed. First of all, the need for efficiency, speed, and trust, meaning as teams, DevOps teams need to deploy to the automation to the fleets, there's generally a gap before we started this process where the teams need to get trusted and speedy data back for the deployments as well as deploy the changes or the configurations much more quickly than they were currently able to. Orchestration, flexible orchestration of management, and a prescriptive approach to this is a broad level theme that we want, is one of the two broad level themes we wanted to address. Secondly, tool sprawl, addressing all the needs in the market and all the different tools that individually are attempting to solve for problems against the fleet, whether it be network issues or direct platform issues or cloud issues. tool sprawl was really impacting teams' ability to be effective and speedy in the field. So given those two high-level themes, at the center of everything, we discovered that there was really an orchestration need. And so this is where we dug in and decided to figure out what is orchestration, what would it be if we could develop the perfect tool to address these two themes of need. And so as we dug in, the architecture became very clear to us. We needed three full dimensions of capability to provide for the customers. Wherever the ability to select any number of granular targets for mediation or targets for distribution or targets for upgrading, whatever the case may be, all of these things need to be able to be flexible and granular in how they're selected, how you draw lines around the targets for management that need to be addressed. Secondly, whenever. It couldn't just be ad hoc solutions, ad hoc sending of data, ad hoc sending of configuration. It needs to have the ability to have recurrence. It needs to have the ability to have exceptions. It needs to have the ability to be event driven. So whenever really does mean whenever, a full dimension of whenever an occurrence or an action needs to happen. And finally, whatever. What is the thing that the teams are trying to do? What actions are they trying to take? They need to be able to be chained. They need to be able to be sophisticated. They need to be able to use multiple tools in combination, whether it be shell scripts or third-party tools, whatever the environment needs. While it consolidates, business needs to go on, and the orchestration needs to help do that with complex actions. So if you take those three dimensions together, that is what we define as the orchestration product that we need to deliver with Courier. So we dug in. There's a ton of work to do to get this product capable out in the field, many thousands of lines of code, but we had to do so in a secure and reliable manner, of course. And along the way, we discovered that we needed to have a brand new platform to do it on top of that could not only scale this project, but actually act as a foundation for additional products and services going forward. So we adopted an aggressive release timeframe. We were methodical, but we were aggressive. Along the way, we continued to do checkpoints to make sure that the product we envisioned was going to meet the needs of the community, our customers, and our future customers going forward in the way we wanted to. And so I'll turn it, with that story complete, I'll turn it back over to Prashant.
Thanks, Stephen, for talking us through on how we got here. But I think let's pivot a little bit on what you can actually do, right, with Chef Courier now that it is live. So I think we looked at all the capabilities and we spoke to hundreds of our customers, and these were 5 common themes that came across. Not just in the beginning, but as they started using the product and as they started looking at exploring how they will apply this within their organization. The first theme is solve complex problem with speed and security. Many times there is this speed and security as seen as very opposite ends, and it is, but we have made an attempt to bring them together with ability to control all dimensions of your change rollout. And also, when we ask which is the biggest pain point that you as an operator or you managing a team of people are experiencing, the first answer was ad hoc reactive work that comes in our way, and the amount of time and effort that we have to put, not just for doing it, but also making it effective or not making it bring our system down. So we believe this is also another thing which we are helping you solve, where we are giving you ability to run patches or security fixes across a heterogeneous infrastructure with confidence. And skill gap, or the another part that the second biggest problem that we keep hearing is, I am asked to do things that are so continuously repeatable, and I think it can be done by someone else in my team, but I don't have the confidence to delegate that. So with Chef Courier and with ability of role-based access control and many other features that we have built in, you will have the confidence to expand or provide access to day-to-day or repeatable operations to broader set of team members and help democratize DevOps. Again, you will see this theme quite regularly because also we are looking at ClickOps and many ways to further democratize DevOps. And another interesting aspect is tool consolidation. So with number of tools, it is not just cost that increases, but the kind of skill, number of people that you need to do, and number of hours that you have to spend on those people, upskilling them and keeping them up to the mark to keep up with the tools and the changes. So with Chef Courier, we believe you can do a tool consolidation and start utilizing some of the plugins and integrations that we have to achieve the efficiency and also reduce the skill limit that you need within your organization. And last, definitely not least, we have built this up, like Stephen said, from ground up, and this is powered by Chef 360 platform. This is where we have embraced cloud native technology and open standards to extend efforts to DevOps and the values that you all seek for. With that, let me request George to come in to talk through on the platform and some of the use cases. George, over to you.
Thank you, Prasad. So, as was mentioned, we really are concerned about tool sprawl across the organization. So we didn't want to give you just another piece of software to deploy. So we started from the ground up building a modern operations platform that was designed to extend across the entire fleet. So Chef, moving into this new phase in the future, is not only containerized, not able to be run in a Kubernetes environment, but that platform is there for you to add your own feature sets on top of. Not only can you add your own features and extend it through plugins, integrations, interpreters, and some other elements that you'll hear us talk about later today. The most important component is how this behaves with the rest of the Chef ecosystem. So this platform, Chef 360, is made up of 5 additional pillars. At the center, we have core functionality, monitoring, auto-scaling, content management, security, all of those things that are needed to bring everything together. What's propping that platform up and helping you with that tool consolidation, bringing you together to that better DevOps experience, is deep integrations with InSpec, being able to handle compliance, content, testing validation, Habitat for application deployment, delivery, infra for traditional configuration management, agentless management, and future state management around cloud operations and Kubernetes. We, of course, have the two new features we're here to talk about: node management, the ability to manage your fleet and understand how to select elements, delivering one of those key dimensions about the wherever you'd like to run, and Courier, the key orchestration platform. So when we look through those, it's not only important to know that we've built from the ground up a platform that's designed to integrate our tools, but it also allows you to take your existing investments and add them to the platform and get more value out of that, giving the opportunity to either consolidate tools or generalize the skill sets and democratize not just the Courier applications, but access to your entire fleet of tools. Now that's great. Let's look at a quick demo that demonstrates some of the value or one of the key use cases.
Vulnerabilities are unpredictable, and their impact is even more uncertain. Now, we're confident you have a checklist of actions prepared for such events, but you wish you can automate and, more importantly, orchestrate these tasks. Introducing Progress Chef Courier, an enterprise orchestration solution providing flexible and granular control of your infrastructure at scale. Now, when you receive an alert for Log4j or the more recent Polyfill exploit, you can quickly pinpoint systems at risk, quantify the impact, and compile a mitigation or remediation job with unparalleled control. Let's meet Steve, our smart and friendly security expert from the platform engineering team, who's enjoying a quiet Friday afternoon and looking forward to a relaxing weekend. But wait, what's this? An alert has come in on a new zero-day vulnerability that affects all systems running Java. Steve's manager is very concerned and unaware of the impact of the exploit. Assuming the worst, he requests that Steve cancel his weekend plans and take action immediately. Steve, on the other hand, remains calm, knowing what he needs to do. He begins by querying a list of nodes that have Java installed through node management. Focusing in on this list, Steve further quantifies the impact with the help of a Courier job. This job executes an inspect scan to identify nodes with a zero-day vulnerability. Steve can now calm his manager by telling him what the blast radius is of this exploit. The next step is to mitigate or remediate. Once he obtains the patch, Steve creates Courier jobs to meet 4 objectives. 1. Ensure that each system is rebooted after applying the patch, and verify that they are operational following the startup. 2. Test the patch by running a Courier job targeting non-production systems to ensure the update has no adverse effects. This can be done by using the query functionality within the job that targets systems within the development and test subnets only. 3. Perform controlled rollouts of the patch to further prevent potential downtime of production systems during business hours. A job is scheduled to update these systems during a maintenance window, which will be determined at a later date. Finally, for systems requiring quorum such as OpenSearch, he creates a job that updates a specific number of systems at a time, and only after these systems have successfully completed the update will the job proceed to update the other systems. This will ensure that the necessary quorum is maintained for uninterrupted operation. Now that Steve has the jobs defined, he can let Courier take over to mitigate or remediate all systems at risk. Once complete, he can run the inspect Courier job again to check on the exploit and send a report to the management to say it's done. Steve is now back to thinking about the upcoming weekend, and his manager is beyond impressed. He can't wait to report the good news to his management. Steve's story highlights just one of the many powerful capabilities of Chef Courier that can enhance your infrastructure automation and orchestration efforts. Progress Chef Courier.
What we got to learn from Steve there is that one simple use case for Courier is an incident response. How many people out there have had a weekend ruined because of a CVE or other item that's come in and had to deal with it? This gives us the opportunity to be able to address lots of items related to incident management and other areas. But in addition to that, we also have other use cases. I'm going to touch on 2 quick ones here. When you think about incident management, you have the immediate fast response times. But what about critical patching windows or patch windows that you have to maintain over the course of your entire fleet? You need a solution that can not only handle controlled rollouts, patch those lower environments first, let's do dev, non-prod, prod, but you also have to be able to have semantic grouping. Make sure that I can group together the finance servers or the most critical systems into groups and apply specific rules to those. Maybe you have some pesky servers out there that have to maintain quorum or additional patching rules. And that's fantastic. Courier right out of the gate can help you solve those problems and really improve your patching lifecycle. But who wants that without the capability of that intelligent failure detection or advanced scheduling? I want you to be comfortable clicking deploy on a Friday night and then going out knowing that when you come back in on Monday, every single system has been patched successfully in the order and the mechanism you had with 0 downtime. When we go past patch management security, we also want to talk about democratization and tool consolidation. Handling corporate compliance is challenging today. And when I mean corporate compliance, I don't just mean did we meet our CIS benchmarks or did we handle STIG? How prepared are you for your next SOC 2 audit? What about internal audits or legal holds? Using Courier and the power of the Chef 360 ecosystem, you can have access to all of your internal people and external auditors that you can control. You can discover when resources are non-compliant before it becomes a problem, automatically remediate them, systematically and seamlessly collect audit evidence and have it prepared and ready to go. You can also integrate this with your existing tool sets. When we say tool consolidation, we're not just saying you have to use Chef tools in your area. Whether you're running some third-party services, you have Terraform, Ansible, a mixture of Chef, Inspect, whatever your tools are, Courier can sit over the top and help unify those into a cohesive, common mechanism where you can truly deliver compliance, security, operations as code across one ecosystem. And of course, where would we be without reporting and the ability to handle data sets? Now, if that's of interest to you, please sign up today so we can talk about getting a trial going. But in addition to those use cases, we're just scratching the surface. Maybe you have some needs to be able to deal with break glass 0-day access So you can handle your zero trust environments, but still have identity-based access to machines. Have a courier job, open those ports up and allow access to users as needed. Maybe you'd like to have a little bit more control over application delivery and deployments, or you have a problem rotating certificates on a significant basis. You want to validate certificates across your fleet every day, automatically renew and apply those. Those are just simple use cases that have come out of our existing trial and beta customers. Sign up today, let us know what your use cases are, and let's help craft a solution that delivers value in your environment. With that being said, next I'm going to turn this over to Stephen, and he's going to go a little bit deeper into what else is coming.
Thanks, George. I'd like to we all would like to give a special shout out and thanks to our early adopters. In the same way that we discovered this market community to begin with, we stayed very close and developed great partnerships with our customers and early adopters to make sure that we were going to be able to deliver the value that we intended with this. And as we went on with them through the process of alphas, betas, on-prem betas, and the like, we got awesome feedback, and I'll share just a few of those with you really quickly. Scott Lappin immediately noticed that the greatest value to their environment would be the granular capability of the whatever, being able to prevent the over-management of systems and target just instances throughout their broad environment where remediation was needed. Hank discovered that throughout their environment there was needs. So in this case, during both the evaluation process and the alphas, virtually every part of their organization, people were raising their hand and saying, yes, I could use this piece here. Yes, I could use that piece there. So they will continue to discover use cases probably throughout this year where they've never been able to remediate, and now they're going to be able to solve business problems all around, and they'll become heroes throughout their whole organization. And if I think about Seth from H&R Block, this is one that's really near and dear to my heart. Seth and H&R Block have been longtime customers with us and have worked around not having this capability. And so we're super excited to be able to bring this to them and alleviate all the workarounds that they've been doing over the years while using our products. And finally, we're lucky enough to have Larry Hurst from iManage, who can come on and speak with me live about their discoveries and their use cases and the value they see with Courier during the alpha and beta processes.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
Hi, Larry. How are you doing?
Very good. Very good. Thank you.
So I really appreciate you coming on and short notice. Me and you have been, as I said, partnered together for quite a while on this journey. And again, thank you very much for really shaping the value of the product for everybody going forward.
You're very welcome. It's been a pleasure.
So I just got very few questions for you. I don't want to take up too much of your time. And the first one is just simply starting off with, how do you currently use Chef?
Well, today we're doing basically managing our Windows server fleet with basic configuration. We have a Windows-based application that is an IIS SQL-based application running in Azure that we install and configure the application with. We're monitoring and managing our compliance on those nodes with using CIS benchmarks. And we're also beginning to monitor the compliance of our Azure subscriptions with some of the benchmarks that are available through Automate. And finally, we've started to configure some Linux-based containerized monitoring and alerting tools for our application.
Oh, that's exciting. Okay, so the next obvious question is, to be completely honest, can you tell me how was your early access experience with Chef Courier with us?
Overall, it was very good. There were a few bumps along the way, as we could expect with any kind of early adopter. But the team has been extremely helpful in working through all of our challenges, and we've had a very good relationship with the team. So it's been a very good experience.
That's great to hear. I know my team has had nothing but great feedback. And again, like I was saying earlier, the partnership between our groups has been outstanding. So with that, so you've been through the process with us for a while. As you've gone through it, just initially, what's your thoughts? How do you see Courier being used in your ecosystem after GA?
Yeah, what we have, part of what we have is a fairly large number of test systems that require relatively frequent reloading. And today that encompasses a number of manual steps. What we've done with Courier during our early access phase here is we've begun to add some of those into Courier jobs to allow us to do things like stopping the chef client task on the Windows nodes so that it doesn't run while we're trying to do an upgrade. Things like stopping services that need to be replaced and simple some of the beginning more simple options for our process. We're looking to add a number of more of additional items to this as the skills list is developed. One of the things that we've talked to the team about is the ability to do like the Azure CLI commands through as a Courier skill. So we're looking forward to working with the team and with Progress to help to bring forward some of those additional skills that will be beneficial to us and I'm sure other folks in the community.
Yeah. So, I've had the pleasure of both presenting to you and with you at various conferences, road shows and the like. You've seen many of the things that we have up and coming that aren't part of this presentation. Can you maybe, after having seen all that and experiencing Courier and the underlying platform, can you share some of your thoughts or, again, totally honest, about the vision of orchestration and Chef's 360 platform in general going forward?
Yeah, I think the goal that you've stated for enabling whatever, wherever, and whenever really has potential to be a game changer in the enterprise. A lot of the things that we do today just to keep the lights on are manual or sometimes automated, but this tech may have this script and this tech over here may have a different script to sort of do the same thing. Sometimes things aren't kept in source control. I think Courier gives us the ability to be that one central point of reference for a lot of the things that have before today been done manually. And additionally, we have the ability to do things like remediate a potential issue, think log4j. I have how many instances of log4j do I have running in my fleet? And what version is it? I can create a Courier job to figure that out and then create another one to remediate that problem relatively easily. As you showed in your video earlier, that there's a lot of items that today are disjointed and done in separate with separate utilities that can be brought together under a single umbrella to make everyone's job a lot easier.
Yeah. And what do what do you think about the concept that we talk about with as far as democratization? Do you think it'll have value in a lot of organizations to actually be able to parse out little bits of the management and orchestration to individuals with different skill sets while still making control?
I think it will. We have one use case that comes to top of mind where that would be a great thing. We're trying to control our Azure spend, and those non-production test environments that we have to keep reloading. Well, they're only used when a team is in the process of doing an upgrade or trying to solve a problem that the customer may have in production. So the ability to point them to a courier job to say, hey, if you need this environment, go click on this and it will start up the environment. And by default, at the end of 24 hours, shut it back down, gives that ability to the team that needs it the most. And that's something that we're hoping to put into effect just in our own environment.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate not just the call in, but the overall partnership. It's been great working with you and the team, and we all really appreciate your time today.
Thank you very much. Nice talking to you. And go Courier.
So with that, I'll hand it back over to Sean.
Yeah, I mean, I want to take a moment again to thank all our early access customers who have been really, really partnered with us to not just try, but also provide feedback. In addition to that, I also want to give a special shout out to our customer advisory board, who have been nothing but helpful and giving us really pointed feedback and partnering with us in not just crafting the features, but also around messaging, how to package the technology choices. So it's the community that has helped us craft this product and bring it to you. And looking at the chat, we see about 15, 20 questions already. So I'm going to brush through some of the next slides quickly so that we can try and answer all the questions that you have. If we can't get to all of your questions, rest assured we will get in touch with you. We'll send you an answer. And so why am I, while Chef Courier is out, but I'm really excited about what possibilities it brings and what else is ahead for us, right? So our mission has been to help organizations accelerate their DevOps journey. And with enterprise job orchestration, you can not just deliver secure infrastructure at scale, but also have continuous compliance along with visibility into your security posture, reducing the application deployment and downtime. And this can all be done at scale across all environments with speed that you desire without having to worry about the security or the trust issues. We have been reimagining how to make the product easy to use. So this is something that is already in works, and it is available in private preview, where we are making Chef workflows available through ClickOps, where most common use cases or workflows are available through easy clicks. So this is our attempt to reduce the time required for you to get started and making Chef available to a broader set of users within your organization base. And this does not take away as code approach, which Chef fundamentally built everything around. It is definitely there in the background, but this is something that we believe will help you accelerate your DevOps journey and also take many others along with you in that journey. And of course, Chef 360 platform is something that we have brought in, and Chef Courier is the first product that we are bringing on this platform. And this is available on-prem, and it is integrating with a lot of Chef existing products like Chef Infra, Chef Compliance, all of it, and we will strengthen those integration. But just like how we launched Chef SaaS, bringing Infra and Automate on cloud, we will be bringing Chef Courier as a software as a service option later this year, along with bringing Chef Agentless, which is already live in on-prem onto the Chef 360 platform. Not just this, we will continue our commitment to open source community, and look out for our announcement later on community edition of Chef Courier, and also open sourcing some of the great work that we have done in building this Chef 360 platform. And definitely, last but not the least, I'm really excited about the platform approach we have taken, with which we have gained the ability to integrate with the existing products like app delivery, compliance, security, configuration management. Not just that, we will be able to bring new capabilities like node management and Courier as we have launched now. And we will be able to build first-party integration with a broad set of portfolio products that we have within progress, such as enterprise-grade load balancer via Kent Load Master, infrastructure network monitoring through WhatsApp Gold, and network detection and response through Flowmon. And not just that, our effort in bringing a tool consolidation and working with the ecosystem as a responsible corporate citizen will give you ability to integrate with observability platform or other workflow tools, including ServiceNow, Puppet, Ansible, any tool that you can think of, you can plug it into Courier and have a very uniform approach to solve your organization problems when it comes to DevOps domain. Right. So we have a host of resources that are available for you to get to know our product, and also we are happy to set up personalized demo with your team. I would request George to join with me so that we can start answering some of the questions.
I strongly encourage people to actually request that private demo. If you're not willing to invest early in the trial and that additional experience, bring your use cases to us, bring your problems to us. Let's show you how Chef Courier and the Chef 360 ecosystem can solve that and give you a better idea of how to deploy this inside your environment.
The first question is, what are the benefits of having granular control over change rollout for enterprise infrastructure? George, do you want to take that?
Sure. So I think the easiest way to think about this one is the danger of the uncontrolled rollout. So make a simple example. We're doing a Windows patch management across systems across all our production fleet. Do you really want to update all of your systems at once? Or would you like to say, update this small fleet, perform the reboot, make sure they come back healthy before I do the next ones? So when we talk about a controlled rollout, this is not only segmenting your fleet into categories and performing them, but knowing when to stop if your success conditions aren't correct. So we believe that the whole controlled rollout part of Courier will let you run larger jobs with more comfort, less manual intervention, and be much more comfortable with fast remediation for security vulnerabilities or infrastructure items.
So this goes back to the speed plus confidence, speed plus trust, right? Because you don't have to compromise on speed. You can keep on rolling out, and you do it in a phased manner, in a granular manner, so that overall you do it faster. Right.
Yeah, I think when you think about the speed, a lot of organizations slow down because they've built these fantastic guardrails, but their automations in place don't let them go as fast as the organization would like.
Yeah.
So we honor your existing guardrails and give you more to control that through RBAC controls, through controlled rollouts, so you can really take the operations and take those advances to the speed that your business is comfortable with.
Yeah, 100%. All right, and the next question is Courier part of Chef 360 platform? Is it installed with Chef 360 platform? So a short answer, Chef 360 platform, as the word says, it's a platform, and it is a means in which we are bundling our software package and making it available to you. Courier is one among the first product that we are bundling as part of this platform. So your software bundle has some elements of our platform. So the next question, does Courier have any agents to perform the task? The short answer is yes, but George, why do we need agents? And why is this question an interesting one?
So I think this is an interesting question because we at Chef do fundamentally believe that the agent-based approach is your best bet to receive or to approach a zero trust environment. but we know that agents can't go everywhere. So at GA, we focused on making sure that the agent-based approach was the most secure and audible possible. But as you mentioned earlier, we have Chef Agentless and enhanced features around Chef Agentless. In a very near update in the future, you also have Courier Agentless, where you can run those courier jobs targeted across remote protocols using Chef Target. You have using targeting through Inspec or Chef Agentless, so that you can use and choose based upon your operations. Do we want an agent-based approach for the optimal security and scale, or do we need something that can't have the device but still need that flexibility?
I'm sure there is another question in the, if I scroll down, but is it a push or a pull?
It's a great question. So we are a pull, but unlike traditional chef operations where we're polling frequently, we actually make use of a series of different message queue technologies. So we place the message in the queue, and that live event is there. So when we talk about speed and some of the customer quotes before about how fast those jobs can run, your job can execute as fast as 1 second from the push into the service.
Yeah, so it's push like, and you have an agent so that you can be compliant to zero trust methodologies, and we give agentless so that wherever you can't install agent, you can exercise the same capabilities without agent.
Exactly.
So this is another question which is in similar proximity, where the question is, we currently use Chef to install and configure and deploy applications using cookbooks. How is Courier different than what we have?
So continue to build and deploy with the way that things work for you. But what we traditionally see is something like application deployment through Courier. Application deployments or configuration through Chef is a fantastic way when you know that update is going to happen, and it can happen seamlessly across the fleet. But if you had 50 IIS servers in test, just as Larry was mentioning earlier, use your Chef cookbook if you want to update all 50 at the same time. But if you want a more controlled rollout, let me update these 3 nodes in the cluster and make sure that my production instance is stable before I do the next 3. Courier is really designed to handle that rolled and controlled delivery. Now, you use whatever tool you want. You can use Courier to orchestrate the when, and then the Chef cookbook could be actually doing the what. Or you could use Habitat or any other tool, Octopus Deploy, etc., to trigger the actual action. But let us handle the actual workflow. Let us handle that DevOps orchestration that doesn't exist today anymore.
And we also hear this break glass use cases which are not auditable, which you don't have a way to roll out in a reliable manner. I think that is also another disadvantage that we get in Courier as compared to the cookbook approach, isn't it?
Absolutely. So when you think about break glass, I think is an interesting one here. As I mentioned earlier, this could be identity management. It could be that a developer needs access to a machine, or they believe they still need SSH or WinRM or whatever it might be, RDP. When you're talking about Courier, then you can have something that opens that up for a very short window and then close it again, but in still the fully auditable way you'd expect from every Chef product, meeting all of the highest standards and all the highest complexities.
And another question on how can Courier help me get to the cloud by taking advantage of cloud native tools. So there are many ways in which we can think about this. One of the way, as you rightly pointed, as we have pointed out, that we are using cloud native technologies, it makes it easy to deploy on cloud. And that's where we are, in fact, bringing it as a software as a service, so that you don't have to take the burden of deploying it on cloud. We will deploy it on cloud, and you can take advantage, or you focus on building jobs, building nodes or node lists, so that you can orchestrate better. But another way is, can I use Courier on cloud? What's your take on the second part?
You can, but I think the better question is, do you have a tool in your organization that could let you not only move to the cloud, but move to another cloud if you have to change, or move back on-prem? So we think about how can we accelerate this? The process workflow is the same. Whether you're organizing and running against Lambda functions or pushing into a Kubernetes environment, there's still a series of steps that have to run in a sequence, and there isn't a single tool in your toolkit that's doing that. I'm provisioning with Terraform, then I'm running Helm, or I'm doing these other operations. Nothing glues them together. Yeah. So I really see Courier as the enablement to move to the cloud, but also with the freedom and the lack of vendor lock-in or tool restrictions to move or to another cloud if you need to, come back on-prem, or have the same workflow that runs across all 3.
I think that is a very common theme that we are seeing, where we saw, I think 2 years ago, the migration was to cloud, and now we are seeing large enterprises come back on-prem because of the cost prohibitiveness or the unexpected cost on the cloud. So that's an interesting point, and we can, if you're keen on exploring that, happy to get into details. Okay, it's a good segue, and the question here is Courier available for trial today? Of course, right? Get in touch with your account team. We have a trial program running right away, and your account manager or customer success manager, sales engineer can help you set up that trial for you on-prem. And sometime soon, you can try it on cloud as well. The next is, will Cookbook run, are Cookbook runs supported by Courier?
This is a great question. So when we really think about those dimensions, the whatever dimension that you want to run in this case, can I continue to run a Chef client run every 30 minutes or 50 minutes or 90 or once a day? Absolutely. You can use your existing scheduling mechanism, whatever it might be, a cron job or Chef as a daemon, or you can move that scheduling to actual Courier. And that's one perfect option. You can also run individual policy files or individual cookbooks, ad hoc jobs, whatever it might be. So we're fully integrated to the Chef ecosystem and is completely compatible, and in fact augments your existing Chef client runs to give you a very concise, very clear way to do ad hoc associations.
And I see another question, is GUI available now? Yeah, I think I kind of mentioned it, that this is available in private preview. It's a hidden feature. If you can find out, you will know. Or if you want access to it, get in touch with us. We will give you access to the development build, and we are more than happy to get your feedback. That is something that we have heads down and building that. And I am personally super excited because it makes things so simple to communicate the value of the product.
So before we move on to the next question, I do want to touch on the private preview aspect. Stephen was up here earlier talking about how much time that the team, how many hundreds and thousands of hours that we spent talking to customers. This experience has changed so much over the last 3 months because of customer interaction. So please reach out, do a trial, let's do some interactions, because the way that you think the tool should operate is the way the tool needs to operate, not the way that we think the tool should operate.
Yeah, I think we all think that we know, but I think the truth is you all know, and we are eager to hear how can we help you in your journey. And the next question, what platforms and operating systems will Courier be supported? So I would answer this in 2 different ways. Where can I install the Courier? And I think we touched upon agent. Where all can I install agent, or what kind of operating systems can I manage through Courier? So Chef Courier is container based. So wherever you can run containers or a Kubernetes ecosystem or Kubernetes runtime, you can run Courier there. So it will be private cloud, public cloud, wherever Kubernetes is run, you can run Courier. And coming back to agents, George.
So let's focus on the agents itself right now.
Mm-hmm.
We know we have customers using a diverse ecosystem, things like AIX, and we have customers using old versions of Solaris and different versions of Windows operating systems, et cetera. So our primary focus, we've done some deep surveys on the amount of OSs and areas our customers are using. And at launch, Courier supports 88% of the actual deployed fleet, with a predominant focus on Intel architectures, Windows, and Linux. But because of the remote capabilities that are coming soon, we'll be able to cover those legacy areas where we can't build native deployments. We're also moving into a habitat-based workflow, which means that we are significantly able to add adoption for new platforms faster, more securely, and respond to internal updates and feature requests. So that 88% that we have now is expected to be closed in the very near future.
Yeah. And another interesting question, is YAML supported? Should we support it?
Well, so I think that, so my personal opinion is I like JSON better. I don't like spaces. But of course, I mean, so we're a customer-driven organization. This comes from our open source roots, but more from the teams that your teams have been spending time in there. All of the operations in the CLI can be either, the job payloads can be in either JSON or transmitted in YAML, and then you can put those inside your pipeline. And of course, the GUI then takes away the need potentially for reading both of those, because you can do ClinOps approach.
And of course, I was joking, is YAML required? Yes, absolutely. That's been another common request that we have been getting. And YAML is, while people have preferences within Chef, but this is another place where we have heard loud and clear that our preference doesn't matter. What is required is what we need to build. And another one, we have a few more minutes, so we'll rush through some more questions that we have. If you have more questions, please keep them coming. Will Automate and Chef 360 exist together? So in a way, so currently the way we have built it, Courier is installed separately, but we Automate, InfoServer, these are first-party integrations. So we are providing cookbooks as part of our GLVs, through which you can bring the nodes that are under management, either in your Automate or InfoServer, to Courier. And you can expand the use cases that you have currently by installing Courier and integrating with Automate or InfoServer. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, over the next few years, expect us to make those integrations deeper until you can't tell the difference between Automate, InfoServer, and Chef 360 anymore. The goal is to really have a cohesive platform that is a first-class participant in your organization. You mentioned Cookbook, and I don't think anybody asked this, but we have built the entire Chef 360 ecosystem API first. Mm-hmm. Everything you do in the API, you can do in the CLI. And of course, we believe in code-first approaches to this, so you can use the CLI for automation. However, using Chef Agentless and the REST resources, there's native Ruby resources that can be used inside your cookbooks, so you can manage everything that you would do inside the Chef 360 ecosystem in a cookbook. Mm. So use the tools that you want, use what you're familiar with, you still get the same value out of the product.
The next question, can Courier be deployed on-prem? Of course, our vast user base is on-prem. So again, talking to our customers, we figured this out very early in the cycle that we need to have our application ability to install on-prem. That's where our GA focus is targeted to on-prem. But wait for it, we are working on SaaS, and Chef Courier will be available on SaaS as well. And the next question is, how does this tool compare with something like Rundeck or AWS SSM?
So we'll start with AWS SSM. So in the case of that, you could think about this like an interesting parallel where you can use SSM-like features to run executions on nodes as needed, but in a platform-agnostic mechanism without the AWS unique agents, and giving you that same identity controls in other areas to run whatever it is you want on those nodes. So there's a lot of conceptual parallels between running ad hoc jobs on SSM compared to what we do now. Now, if we look at the idea of Rundeck, Rundeck has a similar workflow pattern. When you think about it, you say, oh, I can see patterns and familiarity with Rundeck. Rundeck is really designed around single IT operations use. We're really designed around scale and user-free automation. So yes, there's also parallels there, but we really think about this from a user perspective. We expect a lot of our jobs to be running unattended and run on demand as needed, where Rundeck is really designed around a user or a user-based license running an individual task or set of options.
And also automatable, auditable, code-first approach kind of is at the heart of it. So while you see some of those similarities of task orchestration, but there is the code-first approach, where we differentiate. Another question: does Courier run outputs to Automate interface? Short answer: no. And we could build that, but our vision is to bring Automate and other products that we have into Chef 360 platform. So we have a first-party integration when it is part of the platform. So next question: what are the security gatekeepers for Courier and the new agents? George?
I'm not sure what we mean by gatekeepers in this particular case, but what I'll say is that we can think of these agents themselves. They are very small, non-third-party dependent individual Go applications that are installed. So they're incredibly small, no dependencies on the operating system or other areas. Because it is completely a pull-based mechanism, we have both access to the message queue, which in this case is AMPQ or MQTT protocol, but you have the option to bring your own if needed. So we have security controls around that. Every single user or access is done there. But the agents also communicate back to the server using HTTP method signatures in both directions, giving us a mutually signed tamper-proof payload back and forth. So I think that you'll find as long as that you can open up outbound communications, this is something we should be able to work with your security teams.
And we have about 8 more questions, but we will take a couple of more, respectful of your time. And this question is, can I run Ansible playbook using Courier? Short answer: yes. It's just like how we said, you can, if you have a tool, you can run it with Courier. It could be your batch script, it could be Cookbook, it could be Inspect Profile, Ansible playbook, or any other script. If you have some shell script, that also can be. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I think actually the Ansible one is a fantastic use case, because not only can you run your existing playbooks through there, you don't have to run them in Tower. You can run Open Ansible on the nodes, and Courier gives you the horizontal scale of all of the nodes across your fleet and the ability to run use your existing investments without any of those limitations that you might be currently experiencing. Oh, and if you need that, click the demo link or send us a message because we have running demos of those. We'll be happy to show.
Yeah, and I couldn't stay out of the conversation here because this is near and dear to my heart. For those of you who felt the pain of IBM raising prices and doing other things, I've had many people reach out to me and talk about, yes, can we just move to Open Ansible, keep our existing playbooks and use Courier for all the rest? And the answer is absolutely yes. So I definitely look forward to people reaching out to us and talking about that use case.
So I think we are at time, and Stephen, why don't you join us? We are very thankful for all your questions that you have shared with us, and more than that, thanks for joining us and sharing the excitement of this launch. And looking forward to working with you all and seeing the Chef Courier deployed in your organization.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.